What is going on, guys? Welcome to today's market update. We're going to jump in to the technical analysis. Today is January 28th, Wednesday, 2026. So let's talk about what happened today in the market and what you got to look for tomorrow for what's going on. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here so you guys can all see what I got pulled up. I'm going to put myself in the corner so that you guys can see me as I talk. And we're going to jump in to some analysis. Alrighty, so let's talk about what happened in today's market. So we had FOMC today at 2 o'clock. The Fed released their decision to hold the rates steady. And at 2:30, we had the press conference with Powell, which was pretty interesting. It's typically, very interesting in my opinion. I know this stuff is boring to a lot of people, but I actually take a lot of enthusiasm in this stuff. So no change to the target range, which is 3.5 to 3.75. This was expected. I kind of expected this. I said this in my private group. I announced to everybody. The Fed said that inflation is still a bit high and the job picture is stable, but it's soft. So they didn't give a clear timeline for cuts. People did ask. Okay. There was a few reporters that were asking during the conference, hey, do you think that this will kind of be changed in March? And he was very firm on not giving any reaction to it. There's a lot of questions on, who would be replacing him, what's going on in the political aspect of it, because there's some, politics there to get Powell replaced. But he didn't answer any of those questions. He just said, I do not have an answer for you at this time, multiple times during the conference. But yeah, markets reacted with a bit of chop. The stocks didn't collapse. Nothing really went down, but they didn't really explode either. We did make a little bit of money on scalps on SPY that pushed up a little bit, but nothing too crazy. So traders weren't really that profitable. We didn't make that much. We made like 20% on those calls. But yeah, it was pretty simple stuff. Gold and silver are still running up. They're still safe havens. They are signaling to investors and signaling investors that they're looking for protection and uncertainty. So very high up, people are often confused. Why is SPY so high? Why are the markets so up? But how are gold and silver up? And it's because people are still uncertain, but people want to put money in the market as well. So S&P briefly crossed over 7,000 a day, showing the underlying bullish trend, but gains were capped as the session played out. So, things went up, but things went down. Quick takeaway from this is that stocks didn't really crash. The market didn't go full throttle either. So, quick takeaway is that stocks didn't crash, but the market is not going full throttle either. It's balancing the inflation, the growth signals, and all the political noise right now. So, we have a lot of different things going on, which is pretty normal. Like, this is how things go. Let's talk about America's Sweethearts, the Mag 7, and what's happening. Okay. We had earnings. We had a lot of earnings. And I'm going to talk about what happened after earnings here. We have a lot of things moving. So, first and foremost, let's turn on the extended hours. Microsoft, massive gap down. Microsoft trading around 457 right now. Absolutely just tanked. We took our profits on Microsoft with our calls. We got it to 481 and we took our profit there, which is really, really good. Amazon, gap down after today. Big gap down, did not do very well. We're expecting this to go up. I think Amazon will still go up, and it is recovering a little bit, but a little bit of a gap down. Something to be aware of. Meta, on the other hand, Meta did do very well. Meta did gap up quite a bit. Earnings were good. Meta is fucking rocketing off. Meta's at like damn near 726 right now. Meta's doing really good. I wish I played the Meta play for earnings and I thought it would do well. Tesla gapped up, okay? Gapped up, holding at 443. Meta is back in power. Meta is pushing up. And we thought this would happen, but it's ridiculous how fast and how big Meta gapped up from 668 at market close to 720, a 40-point move. Really, really good stuff. As far as the rest go, NVIDIA not really changing too much. Google not really doing too much. Google is pushing up to 343, which is really, really good. Baba, not that this is Mag 7. I'm looking at Baba's myself. Baba's at 175. These are all the big stocks. Gold looking absolutely insane at 497, pushing up to 500. Really, really good. I think gold will continue to track up with the uncertainty. And Apple itself. Apple's reporting later this week, and this is pumping up here to 257. So a lot of turnaround. Microsoft really just felt the pressure. I think Microsoft, if it goes down enough, we can still see a buy up for that. One thing you got to understand is that a lot of these big hedge funds will do an auto sell at 4 o'clock, almost on the dot. So they'll take their profits and they won't play earnings. So that's very normal stuff. AMD holding around 250 and MU pushing up even more to 444 at one point, doing really, really good. So big thing is They want to see AI turn into profit. Powell will turn into this as well. Big companies are really, really bullish on AI, but people are focused on AI spending to turn into profit and not just hype. So Max 7 as a bundle hasn't been crushing it like it has been in 2023 and 2024, but some names are doing well, some names are not. There's definitely, distinctions there. This makes their earnings stretch really important. We need strong guidance, we need good execution, and these names will really do well. But right now, it's all over the place. You'll see a lot of big moves from these earnings. Okay. So a lot of quick reactions that will probably stabilize. There's divergence in the groups. Some will rally, others will lag. What to expect this week, though? I want to talk about what's going on this week. So tech earnings has a lot of drama. I think Microsoft will recover. I think Microsoft will pick back up. We have a massive drop here in Microsoft from, a very good position that has climbed up. I'm going to go back out a little bit, go back out here. Microsoft did drop quite a bit, but I think that Microsoft on a general scale can start to move back up and start go back up to 500. So I'm excited to get into Microsoft calls again. Meta is up. I think Meta will just continue to run. Meta is going to try to climb up to that 770. This is insane. Meta is at a very high level. Meta is going to do very well. Meta killed earnings. Tesla, on the other hand, okay? Tesla, I thought would be bearish on earnings. I don't think Tesla will do very good. I think it's a little bit of a prop up, but same time, I don't think it'll hold that well. That's just my sentiment on it. Amazon, I think, will track up and start to break all-time highs coming up next week. Apple as well. I think Apple will start to push back up and start to recover back to its position here where it was trading at, 260, 270. And in general, Apple has been taking a little bit of beating lately. I think that Apple should start to recover back to its high zone here of 290. If we see that happening, we will jump into Apple calls if there's a little bit of conviction there. Nvidia, if Nvidia can break 194, I think I will jump into Nvidia as well. But Nvidia right now is just consolidating, it's holding. They need to see more of a strong profit coming out of AI. So a lot of stuff going on. Um, Market priced in right now for no cut. It's priced in already. So there is not much of a market reaction. One thing I'll talk about with Google, I think Google will shoot up and Google is shooting up. Google is trading at about 342 right now. We'll see if that keeps continuing the move up. The inflation data came in soft. Traders are priced in. Geopolitical noise is still out there. There's a lot of stuff going on. Tariffs, trade policies, political headlines. This can hit volatility fast. I think the short-term view for this week is a lot of choppiness. I think we need short calls that we take profits on very quick. I think bulls need tech earnings and they need softer inflation data. I think bears are going to scream no cuts, political risk. I think there's a lot of different sentiments going out, and it's going to really depend on how the market reacts. My big thing I want to talk about is next month, February. Earnings are going to set a big tone for the market. If the tech guidance is strong, we're going to rotate back in a heavy growth. SPY is going to push, and we're going to hit over 700. If the tech guidance misses, we're going to start to see a more stabilization. I don't think we're going to go that much lower, but we're going to, chill out a bit. The seasonal pattern, though, always favor a strong Q1. And if the Q1 is very strong, then the rest of the year, in my opinion, will be very strong as well. Big thing to watch are inflation, rate cut expectations, and earnings revisions. So, talk about Q1 here. A lot of things are good right now. I think that if tech leadership can hold up, this can really start to print a positive note for the rest of the market. I think that NVIDIA, if it pushes 194, it'll break. If Apple can break 260, it'll break. If Microsoft can recover, which I think it will, it'll start to climb back up right to 480, right to 490. Alphabet, I think, will test all-time highs at 350, even higher. Amazon, I think, will climb up to 258, even higher. Meta, I think, will push over to 800. And Tesla, I think personally, Tesla will go down. So, we're trading NVIDIA at around a 185 to 200 range. Apple 250 to 270. Microsoft, I know it's low right now, but I think we're just going to quickly gap up to 470 and stay around 500. We have to retest 500. Google going to be around 330 to 355. Amazon 235 to 270. Meta is going to be large range for Meta, okay? 650 to 790. I'm going to put that range there for the week. Very large range. Meta's all over the place. Very good for scalping. Tesla, we're going to look at 400 as a break to 460. This week is a lot of volatility, okay? Monthly targets for all these, okay? Want NVIDIA to hit 200 in February. Apple to hit 275, 280. Microsoft to hit 500 to 540. Google to hit 350 to 390. Amazon 260 to 295. Meta 780 to $800. And Tesla probably to hold around 450. Okay. A lot of price targets here. Big thing I want to talk about as well. A couple stocks on my list, couple stocks on my crosshairs. Okay. Well, we're going to be doing this. Crowd, I think will be bullish. We'll look for more growth from crowd pushing up quite a bit. Another one, USAR. I think that we will have a gap up for USAR coming soon. USAR is not doing so well right now. We're kind of holding here, but I think we'll gap up here. Carvana down quite a bit. Okay. We were up a lot. We were looking at calls for Carvana, and this just absolutely just shit the bed, went all the way down. Carvana calls were juiced up too, went completely down. 70-point drop today. Carvana is down in the dumps. And you know what? I thought Carvana would do very, very well, but it's just not breaking. And a lot of these stocks, they need to retest highs, they need to come back. But Carvana definitely took a hit today. It dropped 20% today. Gotham City Research gave them a bad report of artificially inflating their profits and, a lot of allegations for their sham profits, overstating their earnings from 2023 and 2024 by over $1 billion. So it's shady, it's shadowy. This is just a valuation check, and that's why Carvana dropped so much. UNH dropped because of really a lot of different factors. Big thing is the Medicare information coming out. Let me pull out UNH here for you guys. United Healthcare from 350, historic collapse, dropping 20% in a single session, $60 billion in market value because the Medicare Advantage rate. Okay. The biggest driver was the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, their payment increase rate of only 0.09%. The market was expecting a 4 to 5% bump at 0.09. This is like nothing, So disappointing guidance for 2026. Alongside Q4 earnings, UNH issued a very weak outlook, their first revenue drop in decades. It's a money printing machine, and they were projected to have revenue of $439 billion, down from $447 billion. And it will be their first annual company drop. So shrinking, not growing, rising medical costs, technical and regulatory headwinds too. So DOJ investigation of them, and they're breaking their support levels on a technical level with the stock. So UNH not doing so well. AMD, I think AMD is coiling up for a big move. I think AMD can really move up if it continues to coil up. Big move expected for AMD in the next couple weeks. Probably a good place to put some calls in. Baba looking to hit 182 and test 182 very, very soon. I think Baba in the short term can climb up to 182. If it breaks, it's going to keep going higher. GEV holding around 715. I think this will climb up to 735. I'm in calls for GEV myself. We made a lot of money on that. I think it's going to do really well. TSM, Taiwan Semiconductor. I think this will also move up. Had a big drop here recently. Not a big drop, but a little bit of a drop. I think this will start to climb back up to 350. CoreWeave. We were in calls for this. We got out, struggling a little bit. A lot of volatility. Worried about it. I think it'll probably consolidate. It could make a move back up, but it might consolidate for a little bit of time. ASTS climbing up, trying to run up to 130. I think this will start to run up to 130 very, very soon. And gold and silver, these are just pumping up. I put shorts on these. I was wrong about them. They are still moving up. I'll admit when I'm wrong. I'll admit when I'm not correct. This is one of the only plays that I got wrong. Climbing up. Johnson & Johnson pushing up to more high. Slow move, but probably going to go to 230, 240 very, very soon. Ondas, okay, holdings. I think this will start to run up to about $15 very soon. Unique play here, honorable mention. MU, Micron Tech, the big name of the game. Where did MU go? I just had it here. Okay. Probably going to go to 450 very soon. Calls for this would be very juiced up, but 450 to 500 coming soon. Kratos, think this will run up to 120, 130 in the short term. I'm giving you guys picks that I think are just going to absolutely just rocket up. Okay. Giving you guys the stuff that's going to make money. Palantir, it's been getting beat down lately. I think that it will go down a little bit more, but if Palantir can start to find some footing and find some support, maybe at the 140, 130 level, I think this could start to run up back to 150 and then up to 180. So few plays there. Another one, Irene, this is what we're in right now. I think Irene is going to hit $75 very, very soon. So a lot of plays coming out here. Last one that I'll mention is Hood. Hood is down to 103 here, but I think Hood is going to bounce back up. Robinhood is currently navigating a lot of nonsense. After a monster run in 2025, then the stock surged 200%. They've cooled off quite a bit, but I think with everything going on, they're priced perfectly in. Their valuation is really good, and I think their earnings and data will be really, really strong. They have earnings on February 10th. We have calls set out. I think Robinhood is absolutely going to murder earnings. And yeah, I think they'll do well. And I think that surprise will be really, really good. I don't like to play earnings, but I think with this type of company, I think it'll do very, very well. And they're really down. Their gold subscriber rate has been absolutely insane. They have an aggressive 3% bonus on it. They are doing really good on prediction markets, which are just killing every other competitor out. They have international expansion, and they have a new CFO introduction, Shiv Verma, who brings a new shift in the company. So I think February 3rd, we have a Q&A platform that's open for shareholders to submit questions. That closes February 9th, and earnings after hours release. It's going to be pretty interesting. So a lot of stuff happening in the market today. Cool stuff to look at. Hope this was beneficial, guys. Like always, definitely jump in the group if you find value in what I do. We made a lot of money today. I post my results on Instagram every day. Feel free to DM me with the links down below. Until next time, guys, I will see you later. Peace.